You know, we always talk about how many decisions there are to be made whenever you're doing a kitchen or a bath renovation. And with faucets, it's no different. So today, because what I love to do is I really love to educate my clients about what the options are. So I want to do the same for you. And with a wall mount faucet, which is a really popular option right now, it's a completely different installation than what we find with your typical sink mount faucet. So let me just talk for a second. Let's start with a sink mount faucet. This is what you're used to seeing. It's mounted on the countertop, or sometimes you'll see it mounted on the actual sink. So this is the faucet gets installed toward the end of the renovation, so it's pretty simple application. However, when we're looking at wall mount faucets, which today I'm going to show you these by computer because I can't get into the showroom to do this. So I'm just going to show you, and you're going to see, just like with everything else, there are lots of great options. So here's one that's a little more traditional. Here's one that's super cool and contemporary. These crossbar little faucet handles. Maybe that was all I had. Yeah. So again, lots of options, but a very different installation than a counter mount faucet. So what's the difference? When you're doing, or your contractor is installing your wall mount faucet, it has to be considered from the get-go, because all of this installation, a lot of it happens behind the wall. So what has to be considered is, and has to be on hand, is the faucet itself, the sink, tile, drywall. All those things have to be on site at the job now, because these things are going to be done before the wall closes up. It goes on behind the wall versus what happens with the sink mount. So a couple of things to think about. One is, if there is a backsplash that's being installed around that faucet, then your contractor needs to know that whatever tile is being used, that faucet needs to be centered nicely on that tile. The other thing that has to be considered is, if there are studs behind the wall, where are those studs? Because if they're going to interrupt the installation, he may have to cut them out. Another thing to consider is the height of the faucet, because when we're looking at a sink mount faucet, we need to make sure that if we have actually the depth into where it fills up the sink is super important. So if it's coming out to a certain place in the sink, it may cause some splashback that's just really, really annoying. So a lot of times you'll see that they come in 6, 9, and 12-inch length faucets to allow for different sink placement on the counter. So just a lot of really great things to consider with a wall mount faucet, and they are super popular, but you need to know that it's something that your contractor has to be aware of at the beginning of your project. There's always a ton to consider with these renovations, these kitchen and bath renovations, but we love them and they're super exciting for you. So if you've got questions, you need help, reach out to us. We would love to talk to you.